There it goes. There we go. Now, which one do you exile? Where you just draw like a... Really? Interesting. Oh, fuck. Oh, no, I was planning to hope to get that card. Oh. Hmm. Hmm. It's not very good.
Are constrained, and then we test those ones and we see if there's any performance to be gleaned, and then if there's something there, well, then we keep digging. We go to the medium power and the lower power ones to see if, oh, actually on those ones you can just leave it on because they aren't power constrained anyway. So the notes say we recently canned a video on whether, this was inspired by the early behavior from Ryzen 7000's DGPU, where having a display connected caused the CPU to not sleep properly, so it idled with high power consumption. That is fixed now. So our questions were, what performance impact does the iGPU have on the CPU when it's enabled versus disabled? Does the extra power draw and heat generated reduce max turbo speeds or durations? Does this change when a display is connected or disconnected? Does this change when you're using the iGPU's hardware encoder, for example, in a streaming setup? And does a disabled 13400 behave identically to a 13400F, which just doesn't have the iGPU from Intel? So whether they laser it off or whether it's done in firmware or whatever else, however they do that, is there some difference between disabling it yourself and having Intel disable it? So in summary, our exploratory testing showed there was no result. The question has no satisfying answer. There's not going to be, as far as we can tell, a significant measurable difference. And we kind of went, well, it's really hard to make a whole video where from start to finish it's like, this doesn't matter. Here's all the new ways this doesn't matter. Here's a new scenario where this doesn't matter.
We know the answer ahead of time, too, so this isn't like a voyage of discovery.
Yeah. We don't know for sure 100% that there are no CPUs out there. That
just not that one.
Yeah, we know that it's modern ones are looking like probably not really a thing, and we just. But so there's no video. But I wanted a way to kind of talk about this stuff. Like if we're gonna test them, why don't we at least tell you guys, like, hey, we looked into this and it seems like it might be a dead end. So that's our new segment called "This Was Not a Video," and it was should you use your iGPU? The answer, as far as we can tell, is yes. Go ahead and turn on your iGPU, which is good. Well, I suppose. Music labels are suing the Internet Archive. A group of 6 music labels, including Sony and UMG, are suing the Internet Archive over their Great 78, an attempt to preserve music that was recorded on 78 RPM discs, a format that was... Didn't we talk about this 2 weeks ago?
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm removing it. Let's talk about Microsoft removing offensive AI-written articles. They have taken down a series of bizarre articles published by Microsoft Travel. It's this. Yes, okay. I want to talk about this, including an article that listed the Ottawa Food Bank as a tourist attraction with the caption, "Life is already difficult enough. Consider going into it on an empty stomach." What the heck does that even mean? Another article on where to dine in Montreal suggested trying a hamburger. It gave a Wikipedia-style explanation of what a hamburger is. Then it suggested checking out McDonald's.
I just read the next one.
Yet another article on local delicacies in Anchorage suggests trying seafood, which is basically any form of sea life regarded as food by humans, prominently including fish and shellfish.
I wish this wasn't an AI writer, and it was just some writer that was like, these articles are boring. I'm just gonna make them really weird. Because that's actually amazing.
It's not quite a "have you considered genocide" moment, but it's pretty good. Okay.
Oh, man.
Oh, I needed that.
Microsoft claims that the publication was the result of human error.
Oh, yeah, human error to put an AI in charge. That's the human error that occurred. Sorry, Microsoft. I'm not buying it. Sorry, what?
They also say, in quotes, the content was generated through a combination of algorithmic techniques with human review, not a large language model or AI system. Yeah, sure. Microsoft laid off a significant portion of the MSN journalistic and editorial teams in favor of algorithmic content curation in mid-2020. In other AI writing news, a U.S. judge recently determined that fully machine-authored artistic works are ineligible for copyright protection. This decision may yet be overturned on an appeal.
Okay, a lot of people are complaining that they couldn't understand me when I read the Anchorage one.
Okay.
Do you want to try to read it and be intelligible?
Yet another article on local delicacies in Anchorage suggests trying seafood, which is, in quotes, basically any form of sea life regarded as food by humans. Prominently including fish and shellfish.
I'm sorry, I can't.
Oh, no. It's art. It's art.
It kind of is. That's what I like so much about each one of these is that they like...
It's just art. It just becomes art.
It's not technically untrue.
It feels almost like malicious compliance writing.
Yeah.
They're like, they got this task. They're like, all right, you need to write about local delicacies in Anchorage.
You have to write 18 articles today.
Yeah. And they're like, you know
all right,
what?
Fine.
This is what seafood is. This is what hamburgers are. Good luck. Go to McDonald's.
Food is something that you can eat to stay alive.
No one in my generation has any money. Go to the food bank.
Seafood is anything that is not land or air food.
Oh, man.
Oh, no. Okay. Anywho.
What an amazing topic.
Meta is blocking Canadian news, including satirical news. So the recap, Meta has been blocking links to Canadian news on its platforms, including Facebook and Instagram, since August 1st in response to a law passed by the federal Canadian government requiring large tech companies to pay news sites when their content is linked on their platform. Google, meanwhile, says that it will do the same once the law takes full effect. The news block has been criticized for potentially endangering Canadians during ongoing crises, such as the ongoing forest fires. In addition to many legitimate news sources, Canada's own version of the Onion News, the Beaverton, was caught up in the ban. The site's editor sent a letter to Mark Zuckerberg and clarified its page information to indicate that it is satirical. The ban on Beaverton material has since been lifted. I love their letter, by the way. Dear Mr. Zuckerberg, and I'm skipping a lot, this action is outrageous. To label us and our content as news is not only false, it is highly insulting and defamatory. To be clear, we are satirists? Satirists? Liars, miscreants, fabulists, hyperbolists, beguilers, tricksters, and every other Tuesday charlatans. If Meta, God, what a stupid name,
In brackets.
chose to block the content of pages that engaged in this activity, we would have no choice other than to accept it.
But to be labeled as a common news organization alongside such dreck as the Rebel and the National Post, it makes us feel dirty just to think about it.
Anyway, love their letter. It's exactly what I would expect from the Beaverton. Perfect, thank you.
Yeah. Matt from Labs Web posted in Floatplane chat saying links to Snope are also apparently considered news.
What? Seriously?
They're just cleaving too much and then probably seeing who's going to complain and they'll clean it up from there. That's my
God,
suspicion.
what a stupid name. It really is. Now that the metaverse is well and truly dead and buried, it really...
Yeah, swing and a miss on that one.
Yeah,
eh?
it aged like...
Milk.
I'm trying to think of something like
They should just rename to like AI.
Is it a mayfly? Mayfly that has like a 24-hour life cycle or something like that? Like what are
something like that.
Mayfly life cycle.
It's just like whatever the next thing they're working on is, they should just rename it that. They should have renamed themselves Threads for like 4 days.
Yeah, some mayflies live for only 8 to 10 hours after they become an adult. So there you go. A little biology fact that it aged like a mayfly.
Yeah. Do we even have any other topics? Are we good? Did
Oh,
we
that
do
was
it?
so obnoxious.
I think that's basically it. Yeah.
Credit agency dinged for spam?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And
That happened.
which
Got 'em.
one?
Credit agency dinged for spam. Credit reporting agency Experian has been fined $650,000 for violating spam laws. According
This
to
fine? No, okay, whatever. This fine is 0.08% of their recent yearly net income. Cool. So basically what we're saying is spam is okay. Sorry, I know you were going to read the whole thing, but like
Sick.
at the end of the day, none of it matters. What matters is that none of it mattered.
Yep,
Cool.
that's unfortunate. Rockstar, this is kind of interesting. Rockstar acquires modding group that it once banned. Rockstar has acquired CFX.RE, the modding team behind the biggest roleplay servers for GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2, 5M, and Red M. Despite the fact that they banned CFX.RE, which I'm sure has a name that you're supposed to pronounce in a different way, principal creators from both games back in 2015. CFX.RE originally set up these dedicated servers for role-playing mods that allowed players to use custom vehicles, maps, and weapons and inhabit those game worlds as virtually anyone. As of April 2021, these servers had 250,000 players. Whoa. In 2015, Rockstar called the GTA server an unauthorized alternate multiplayer server that contains code to facilitate piracy. In November of last year, Rockstar changed its policy on roleplay servers, allowing use of these servers so long as they are non-commercial, do not misuse IP or trademarks, and do not interfere with its official online and multiplayer services. I think it's cool. I don't necessarily think it's... I don't know the whole history around them banning them in the first place, but I think the fact that they hired on this team of modders is cool. I like when that stuff happens, personally. When there was Skyrim modders getting hired by Bethesda, I thought that was great. I think that type of stuff is fantastic.
Here's a question for you. You know, what if we see these projects kind of absorbed back into Rockstar's own portfolio in a way that is not as cool and not true to the original vision? Then do you still support it? Are they just buying their way out of people liking this more popular piracy-friendly version of their game versus
I mean,
their
that's
own
kind
official...
of unfortunate, but now these modders have jobs, and if they accepted the job, like, they now have a career, and they got there through modding, which is like, that's the part of it that I think is cool, right? Like, yeah, I don't know. We talked about that hacker earlier, and how there's a path for a lot of hack. I'm not suggesting you do this.
Yeah.
But there has been a path that has been observed for hackers in the past, where you break into systems and then get hired by the owners of said system to try to fix the hole. And that's been an interesting thing. And then now there's this where you're not breaking into the system, but you're showing that you're, driven to work on this thing. And then you get hired for that. I think that's awesome. And if that means that you lose certain mods, that's unfortunate. But I'm happy that people are able to get careers doing the thing that they clearly love to do. I like that part. Yeah.
All right, is it time for WAN Show After Dark?
I think so.
Or you hack Valve and they honeypot you and you get arrested. His name was Ted in the Flipside chat. Yeah.
There's
bullshit.
I do not suggest doing it, and there's a lot of specific ways to like kind of do it properly. Yeah, you can go. You're good. Whatever you want.
Nice.
Pew.
It's WAN After Dark.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a short WAN After Dark today.
And it kind of literally is, because it's past midnight already.
Lol, got him. Hit me, Dan.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, we've got a few here. Hi, Dan Joe. Hope you guys and team are staying strong. Have you ever had any experiences where you thought to yourselves, if I do this or cross this line, there is no going back?
I think when we bought the studio.
I was going to say, yeah, I mean...
That was huge. What a, enormous, life-changing moment, right? It was man, how much of it was debt at the time? By the time we did all the tenant improvements and everything, like built out the space and stuff, we were probably $1 million in debt, which was...
At that point in time was enormous.
I hoped I would get out of it eventually, it was not trivial, right? I mean, obviously when we started the whole thing,
that's so fucking annoying.
Yeah, I mean, walking into my boss's office at NCIX was pretty terrifying when I laid out that I am leaving, because that was the only way that I had any kind of negotiating position. I basically had to say, look, I'm leaving regardless. So you have two paths you can follow. You can follow the path where I help keep NCIX Tech Tips running and help you transition this.
I hate that code.
Or you have to figure out how to replace me in 2 weeks notice or whatever. Wait, sorry, what are the options? Right. Either I walk away and you try to figure out how to transition this thing in 2 weeks notice, and I go work for a competitor and I will build this again for them. Or you work with me. I take Linus Tech Tips. I help you keep NCIX Tech Tips running. I help you transition it. And I will give you, he asked for 4 months notice or something like that, which in retrospect is way too long. You should never be working at a job that you're leaving for a quarter. By the end of it, I mean, the good news is there was a lot of time to transition things off me. The bad news is by the last month, no one was assigning me anything. I didn't have anything to do because
I think there's some scenarios where it might make sense. Extremely senior people in certain positions, if you want to leave super amicably. I've seen situations where you want to give a really serious amount of time so they can recruit and fully train up the replacement, stuff like that. 4 months is a long time, but I've heard of some from very long notice periods. Man, it's late.
Yeah.
Next up.
Let's see here. Hey, LLD, any favorite stories from LTX and Whaleland?
Man, I just loved the energy of the crowd.
Yeah.
Like even just the kickoff, like welcome to LTX
so
on the first day.
Positive the whole time.
Yeah.
Everyone was super cool.
It's pretty cool. Creator dinner was super cool.
Yeah.
Just like gaming in the LAN. I never get to do that stuff these days. Just like desperately trying to get my poor team of just...
You guys tried.
I love my team, but you guys are terrible. Yeah, trying to get my team to cap some flags in Blood Gulch,
Yeah.
Halo CE.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing was, it's kind of a blur looking back on it now, but it was a blast of a blur of a blast. It was really fun. I hope we're able to do it again.
Yeah.
Linus, I am buying this screwdriver specifically for working and fixing equipment for Krispy Kreme. Do you... Did you ever think the screwdriver would be as widely used as it is?
I hoped. I mean, we ordered 100,000.
There's a lot of hope
right out of the gate.
Yeah.
The hopes and dreams. I had a lot riding on that. That was that was another like do or die moment. We were either going to be a physical goods business, or we were going to like sink that portion of the business on this like stupid screwdriver and backpack double Hail Mary that we were throwing. So I hoped, but I don't know if I really believed it. I mean, you saw how stressed I was leading up to the launch of the screwdriver and the backpack. Like I was a mess, man. These were like multi-million-dollar bets. Those were both bigger bets than this warehouse, which I think says a lot about, our company's trajectory, and also says a lot about stupid Vancouver real estate. The fact that a building could be worth less than an order of screwdrivers that long ago, and now is just
Yeah.
to the point where it's like hard to even find space to expand into. It's ridiculous.
Extremely.
Yo, welcome back, folks. Love this capacitor design. Racket sports question for you. Have you ever played racquetball or squash? Any thoughts on how the feel, strategy, or flow of badminton compares?
Have you ever played racquetball or squash?
Yeah, but it's been a really long time.
I only played squash once. I actually played with Ed.
I remember this for some reason.
Yeah, we were in Richmond shooting a video, and it was like, there was a flight, and we were early for it or something. I don't remember. We had time to kill. We were in Richmond, and we were like,
let's play squash
let's
for
go
some
play.
reason.
Well, he played when he was in like high school or something.
Okay.
And I had said like, I really want to try it. It just looked so fun. Like just the three-dimensionality of it, how you can kind of hit it backwards and stuff. Like it's not a net. It's a line on the wall. I don't know. It just kind of tickled me. It's so fun. It's really fun. I've never tried racquetball. My understanding is it's on the same court, but instead of the squishy ball, it's like a hard rubber ball. But I
don't know.
Yeah, really, really, really fun. I'm not good enough at it to comment on, how it compares to badminton or whatever else. But I definitely had a blast.
I played it like a few times when I was like genuinely a child, like very, very young. So I don't even remember how it works.
Hi, DLL. Started playing Baldur's Gate with my wife in split screen. Unfortunately, not too many games have split screen couch co-op these days.
Yeah.
What are your favorites, either recent or old?
Oh, dude, the Halo games got a lot of play on the split screen. My dad and I think it was Halo 2. I don't remember which one it was. It was either Halo 1 or Halo 2. When you beat one of the missions, it would show the shield icon for the difficulty level. So like legendary, it had the shield and the two swords crossing and the skull on it, and then it had all the other ones. And we had this mission where we wanted every single icon for every single level. So my dad and I beat every single level in that Halo game on legendary and the other difficulties, and it was actually like kind of fun.
Can I derail this conversation for a second here and talk about how the gaming culture has changed by having so many options for games? You would, unless you are a completionist and you're like kind of into that, you would never play a game like that anymore. And I really realized this. I realized this as I was going through, and there was some stupid puzzle where you're like supposed to push orbs around in Chained Echoes that my brain was tired and I didn't feel like it. And so I went to look up a walkthrough for it. And then there was also, I was trying to get some information on like crystal combining and like, you know, kind of the rules around that. And finding resources for this game, there's like a handful of Reddit threads on any given subject, but basically nothing. And this is a game that, from my understanding, was reasonably successful. But you compare that to trying to find, like, the way that people will obsessively deconstruct a game like, you know, one of my all-time favorites and like my childhood favorite game, Final Fantasy VI. The way that people have dug into, you know, every little bug and miscalculation in the combat system and every possible combination of, you know, weapons and relics and espers and other items and whatever else, right? The way that people, and I'm sure there's exceptions to this, but the way that the common experiences that we shared were more common, I feel like. If you were a gamer growing up in the late 90s, early 2000s, grand scheme of things, were there that many really good games for the Nintendo 64?
GoldenEye?
Sure.
Donkey
Perfect Dark,
Kong?
Donkey Kong, Mario Kart.
Mario Kart was amazing.
Mario Party.
Smash Bros.
Sure, Smash. And like, we're going to probably be able to come up with 10 or 20. But nowadays, if I were to say, okay, yeah, like, how many good games are there for Steam Deck?
Star Fox.
Are any two...
Super Mario 64.
Okay, that's not the point. The point is that we're talking about on the order of tens.
Yeah.
Whereas now, we're talking about a game library, smorgasbord, on the order of thousands, to the point where you and I could both be gamers, play nothing but like S-tier awesome games, and have
never played the same
absolutely
games.
nothing to talk about to each other.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, part of that is the historical library of games, because I like, as much as I'm pumping up Baldur's Gate, and we had Elden Ring come out, which was just like incredible, and there's a lot of high hopes for Starfield, and the new God of War games have been fantastic, and like there is actually good stuff going on right now. I feel like the frequency of good game releases has maybe decreased in recent years. But there are still bangers coming out.
But you're talking AAA only right now.
Yeah, there's some big time indies, but I feel like the indies have slowed down a little bit too, if I could possibly argue. In the like Super Meat Boy era, it was all the time. But indies were like the best thing to play.
But was that just Humble Bundle pumping it?
I don't think so. Genuinely.
Okay, so they don't just have less marketing now? Because, like,
I mean, I
don't know,
wrong.
Dave the Diver was a breakout hit.
Fantastic.
Stray.
I'm not saying they don't.
Chained
I'm not
Echo's the
saying
one
they
I'm
don't
playing
exist.
right now.
Not saying they don't exist.
Sure.
I feel like maybe it was Humble Bundle. I don't know.
Yeah, people in chat are piping up.
There was like a golden age of indies.
Technically, Baldur's Gate 3 is an indie. They have no publisher. Okay. Okay. Actually, what you're referring to,
that's really cool and shows a huge amount of success for Larian. There was a ton of stuff going around of people being like, no one should be able to expect the quality level of Baldur's Gate 3 because they obviously had a huge amount of funding from like the D&D owners, which I think is like Wizards of the Coast or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Hasbro, basically?
Yeah, something like that. And like the Larian studio people were like, what? That's not how this works. Like, they didn't pay us to make this. Like, what do you mean? Yeah, I don't know. I think it's very cool that they've been able to find that much success basically on their own. I think that's awesome.
Last one I've got for you curated here. Hey, DLL, I love that you're back. And the D-bread. When will when will the stubby screwdriver come to the LTT store? I really, really want it in every color I can get it.
Well,
maybe twice.
It was supposed to launch this week, last week?
Something around there.
I forget, something like that. I don't know the exact date, but we have stock. Like, we're ready to press go. I think we are probably going to launch it next week, would be my guess. Yes, that would be my guess. Okay, we do have a few more potentials to go through, Luke. Oh, man. Chris P. asks, I love the multiple videos about smartifying Linus's home. I'm going through similar projects now. What are your favorite upgrades?
I think he could probably list his least favorite upgrades.
Yeah, I think that would be a way easier list. I think the ones that provide joy to my family are the only ones that I care about because realistically, I don't really use any of it. My daughters really like their RGB reading lamps.
That's cool.
Yeah, and they're not really reading lamps. We did strips around the outside of their bunk bed, so it kind of shines off the wall, so they can read, and they help me pick what color they want, and so they're super into that. I think that's kind of it. Oh, you know what? No, I really like having easy garage door access on my phone. That's super handy. Yeah, I don't even carry a key to my house. Like, why would I? Yeah, it's just a key to lose. Like I hate having a bulky key.
What if your phone's dead?
Thing. Well, I don't know. Be responsible, scrub.
Wow.
Yeah, charge your phone. What's wrong with you?
What if you drop it in the pool?
Oh.
You knew that was coming. I couldn't resist.
Stab.
I'm so sorry.
Stab, but don't twist.
I feel bad now.
You don't feel bad.
Oh.
Look at you. Remorseless.
Oh, man.
First time catching the show live as I'm currently in Japan, where everything is very different from Europe. In the many trips you had around the world, what was the biggest culture shock? Ooh. Biggest culture shock. I mean, everywhere is so unique.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know if I would describe it as a shock, but
Yeah.
I was blown away by just how universally friendly people in Taiwan are.
Oh, yeah.
Like that, I know people say,
For sure.
everybody says, oh yeah, go here, the people are so nice. But I hear people say that about Vancouver,
Taiwan's
and
on,
I'm just
a
like,
different level.
nah, dog. I actually like live in Vancouver, and people in Vancouver are not friendly and like not that helpful and stuff. Like you'll find ones that are, but in general, I think we're a pretty reclusive, sort of keep to ourselves
I feel like I'm more like, on the same team as the people around me in Taiwan than here.
Yeah, like in Taiwan, though, like everyone is like actually super friendly.
You're all in this together.
And you talk to Taiwanese people, and they're like, "Yeah, everyone's like friendly to each other too." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's that. Yeah, that's like super cool."
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, my badminton coach is from there, so whenever I'm like going back there, we just kind of like chat about it and stuff. Australian here. The shipping is going to hurt. Hey, thanks, Connor. But want to help support y'all. Much love for D-Brand and all their chaotic energy. Is there any other sponsors that have been good or weird to work? I don't think anyone is weird like D-Brand. Nobody really gets the whole influencer, because they don't just do influencer marketing. I think a lot of brands do influencer marketing, but D-Brand, they build relationships with influencers that they see having long-term staying power in their content. So it's kind of a funny thing. Like on the one hand, if you see a spot for a brand on a channel, you might have like a positive association for that brand based on liking the channel. I would say D-Brand works the other way as well, where if you see a D-Brand spot somewhere, it's probably because the folks at D-Brand actually like think this is like good shit, and they want their product associated with it. It's not just like scattershot. So mad respect to them. They've put a lot of thought and they've put a lot of work into their strategy. It's not just chaotic. I think they play the character really well, but make no mistake, they're super, super smart.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to choose between all forms of wireless internet or all forms of rechargeable batteries, which one would you choose and why? So I have to pick between wireless internet and rechargeable batteries? What is the point of wireless internet if I don't have rechargeable batteries? Oh, man. I'm going to take rechargeable batteries. Luke.
Really? So you'd have no internet on your phone?
Yeah, but then I could at least play like Switch games.
And drive your car.
Yeah. Whereas if I have...
Or have a phone?
Well, wireless internet. You could still have like
no rechargeable
calls
battery.
and text. So no, I picked rechargeable batteries.
No. I'm saying, like,
Yeah.
You wouldn't have internet on your phone, but like, what would your phone be like with no rechargeable batteries?
It would make phone calls. But what would your
cell phone, no rechargeable batteries.
No, I pick rechargeable batteries.
No, I know. I'm talking about the alternative. We're too tired.
Okay. What? Well, the alternative
Because
sucks.
I tried to snap back, and it went like, you wouldn't have internet on your phone, and then I realized, hold on a second, you might not have a phone.
I'd have a
because
phone.
I don't think it would be super reasonable to have completely disposable batteries for your phone.
Oh yeah, no wireless. Or wait, so hold on a second. Yeah, okay. No rechargeable batteries is not a viable option. We're in agreement. Yeah. Okay, see, I thought you were debating me.
No.
Let's wrap it up here, boys.
Oh man. Someone Sharp 2K was like, who's on first? Oh, a few people said it. Okay. That's funny.
All right, I'm just going to text reply this one. Oh, I think we both just replied to the European warehouse one. Hopefully someday.
Okay.
Okay.
Hold on. Sorry, one sec. There's some people in Flowplane chat talking about the re-release of the Atari 2600 Plus.
I thought it's just a prop. Isn't it just like
people are
a
saying
piece of furniture?
It works. Is this just like an FPGA setup?
Probably.
That's what I
It might even
asked.
not be that. It might just be an emulator.
Doesn't use it uses an ARM CPU. So probably yes. Okay. It comes with a cartridge. Does it play the old cartridges? I don't know, man.
Are people asking for this? Is it hard to find an Atari 2600 emulator and play the games if you really want to?
Some people definitely want the hardware.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
It looks really cool. So I
Oh, looks like I've got another
understand
curated
that.
here. DLSS has been a net positive for gaming in general, in my honest opinion, but I have seen a couple videos recently suggesting it's becoming a requirement for games to be playable. Thoughts on DLSS being a necessity?
So just before you respond to that, apparently it does play Atari 2600 and 7800 game cartridges. Pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. DLSS being a necessity?
Yeah, they're just so unoptimized, or the graphics require so much stuff.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of
I
games
see.
coming out right
I
now
see.
that are basically just like, yeah, if you don't have an RTX 4090, good luck running this at 4K 60. So if you have anything other than that, you're basically relying on DLSS to get playable frame rates.
1440p
or like,
gamer.
well, smooth frame rates. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's inevitable. I mean, look at how much the pace of GPU development, like GPU raw performance improvement, has declined from like a year over year standpoint. I mean, it used to be we would get new generations of GPUs once a year. Now we're lucky to get a new generation of GPUs every 2 years, 3 years. And honestly, like looking at how much money NVIDIA is making on AI crap right now, like billions and billions and billions, we may be moving into the end game of NVIDIA caring at all about consumer graphics. I don't know what to say, man. Because yes, it's still a significant portion of their revenue, but it is so much less profitable and it is so much more work, and everyone kind of hates them for it. If I'm sitting there, I'm Jensen right now. I'm wearing a leather jacket. I'm sitting here in my beautiful kitchen going, why am I even bothering?
I can make way less money and have everyone be mad at me, or I can make way more money and everything's cool.
Yeah.
Unfortunate situation. I commented before about how like we just keep cycling into like exactly what would be the most beneficial for NVIDIA. I feel like that's like If you want to figure out like just investments in general, just figure out like what would be the most beneficial for Nvidia to happen next in the world, and just like plan based off that.
Right?
Because like cryptocurrency blowing up, and then you see cryptocurrency going down, and we're all like, yeah, and then they're just like the next best thing. Now it's hyper corporate.
I mean,
Let's go.
It's clearly not an accident at this point. You got to give them credit. They have played the game extremely well.
Yeah.
They were out there investing in machine vision and machine learning and general purpose computing on the GPU. There was a clear vision. Last merch message. Would you do a video about float plane tech? I work in a similar space, and especially HDR can be super tricky to get right. I think the challenge is that it would be hard to fit float planes, like a tech overview of float plane, into a video. Like,
if we do anything for float plane tech, it will probably be like a transcoding server. We've talked about that before.
Yeah, okay.
But that would mostly just be like
an on-site like transcoding. Like,
this is a really
Uber
cool
machine
server because it's really powerful, and this is what we're going to use it for.
And then we'd have to actually do that and not steal it from you guys this time.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, we tried to do that before, and live
Hi, I
while
want
one
to
of
offer
my
promotion of your
team
channel.
members was working on
Viewers, followers,
it was powered down so someone could take parts out of it. And we were like, let's not do this.
No, I'm good, homie.
Anyways.
All right.
Yeah, cool. I'm happy to get out of here. Just I know this is a short show, but it's 12:30.
Thanks for tuning in, though, guys.
Yeah.
We will see you next week. Same bad time. Hopefully earlier. Same bad channel.
Yeah. Bye.
Appreciate y'all.
In that. Oh, these are cool. Where the fuck is my mana? Jesus Christ. That's fucking lame. I fucked up. I'm gonna have to discard something. Shit. No, I double fucked up. That's fine. I could have been stronger actually. Boobies. Boom. Oh, you're a bastard. To battle.
Famous Japanese.
Oh shit! I didn't realize that 13 stacks of poison. That's fucking lame. How could you do this to me? I made my mistakes. I know where to run, and now I'm.
We've lived in the Netherlands for 5 years now, and during that time we've been to many different cities and towns. Now, obviously I talk about Amsterdam a lot on this channel because that's the city I live in, but I routinely show clips from other places that I've been to in the country. A lot of the time, I didn't go to these places specifically to film them, they were just some of the places I had to go because I was going to an appointment or visiting friends or just living my life. And while I grabbed a few video clips here and there, I never collected enough footage to make a complete video about any of these places, especially in the early days. But a lot of these places are really interesting, and I think you'll find them interesting too, because one of the things that really honestly just blew me away after moving to the Netherlands is just how good things are pretty much everywhere. When we got to the Netherlands, we tried to get out of the city as much as possible to get to know our new country. Before I had a YouTube channel, I used to take photos or videos of things I found interesting, and it's really funny to look back on a lot of what I thought was worth filming. Most of these videos are too short as they were never meant to be posted to YouTube, so you'll have to excuse me if I have to loop some of them. So anyway, let's begin. We have visited the city of Haarlem several times, both before moving to the Netherlands and after, as it's an easy trip from Amsterdam by train. Visiting Haarlem for the first time was a really eye-opening experience for me, as it was the first time I realized that even a city of about 160,000 people could be really active and lively, and I talked about that in the very first video on this channel. My hometown has over 3 times the population, and you'd need a 50-car pileup to see this many people outside of their cars at one time. This is entirely because of the design of Haarlem and its pedestrianized city center. I took our kids to Leiden to visit the Natural History Museum, again, trivially easy to access by train and a short walk. This is literally the only video I took of Leiden, this crosswalk. This amazed me because it was such a safe crossing, where the street was narrowed with this big pedestrian island. Oh, okay, I was clearly easily impressed in those early days, but seriously, this would not exist in any city this size in Canada, and that's really sad, right? I did a similar thing in the town of Harlingen, where the only video I took was this one. Again, of a safe crosswalk. In this case, the crossing is raised to slow down drivers. If you live in Canada, you have to get all your neighbors together and fight for years to get something like this installed, but in the Netherlands, they're just all over the place and usually installed by default. For a while, we were attending some speed cubing competitions. This meant that we had to travel to some very random places in the Netherlands. This is Lent, which is basically a suburb of Nijmegen. We hadn't been in the Netherlands for long at this point, so everything was new to us. I remember it being so amazing that we could so easily take a train to the other side of the country, and when we got there, it was safe for our whole family, including our kids, to cycle by themselves to the neighboring town. There was also this separated bicycle path that I remember thinking was really high quality, especially in such a small city. This bridge was really cool too, and it was interesting how they cut through this old tower to build this bicycle path. I remember thinking that only the Netherlands would care enough about bicycle infrastructure to do this. The other fascinating thing about Lent was that it felt very suburban with lots of single-family homes, but it was still perfectly safe to cycle through, and there were so many families out on bicycles. These kind of suburban streets cut off to through traffic by cars are ideal routes for cycling without having to build any dedicated cycling infrastructure at all. There are no bike lanes needed here because the speed and volume of cars was so low. Suburban streets lined with single-family homes but still safe for cycling just absolutely blew our minds. Another speed cubing competition was in Ermelo. Again, our destination in this small town was easily accessible by train plus bicycle. What amazed me was that a town this small, 27,000 people, would have so many trains going to it, and with a ridiculous amount of bicycles parked out front. The other thing that surprised me was the traffic calming. That's the infrastructure that's used to slow and restrict car traffic. So many streets were cut off to car traffic, and again, it was easy to cycle everywhere without any dedicated cycling infrastructure. I talked about this in one of my very early videos about traffic calming on this channel. This one little town had more traffic calming measures than I've seen in literally any city of any size in Canada. And when it comes to small towns in Canada, they're all extremely car-centric. They are legitimately terrible places to be, despite them being small enough to easily cycle from one end to the other. So being in a small town that wasn't lined with strip malls and overrun by cars was just incredible. It really became clear to me that to make a place friendly for cycling, it was more important to restrict cars than it was to build a bunch of expensive bicycle infrastructure. After all, protected bike lanes are really just an extension of car infrastructure, right? You don't need bike paths if you don't have a lot of cars. We also attended a speed cubing competition in Veenendaal. This town deserves its own video someday, as it's often considered to be the best city for cycling in the Netherlands. The exit to the train station is right at this nice cycling path, and it connects directly to this pedestrianized shopping center. Totally accessible by foot or by bicycle without ever interacting with any cars at all. And this isn't even the main train station. This is the suburban station in a place with only 65,000 people. Like, I would absolutely never see this in Canada anywhere, never mind the suburbs of a small city. We took a vacation to Terschelling, an island in the North Sea. I was amazed that we could take a train directly to the ferry, and when we got to the island, we could rent e-bikes and cycle everywhere. We were even staying on a farm, like an actual rural farm, and it was still easily accessible by separated paths that were only used by bicycles and tractors. This country never ceases to amaze me. We went on vacation to a small camping area outside of Ulmen. Again, small town, 18,000 people. Obviously, a lot of people drive here, but there are still alternatives for walking and cycling. I drove around to take a look at the town and saw traffic calming everywhere. Look at the traffic calming on this main residential street. There is no way this would exist in a town this small in North America. This street would be wide and straight, high speed, and have lots of cars. People would have signs on their lawns telling drivers to slow down, and nobody would let their kids out in the street. It's just a totally different way to design a residential area.
Oh shit, I'm still engaged.
I was also surprised at how good the new road infrastructure was. You can see a very clear separation between streets and roads. There are no stroads here. For example, the businesses in this industrial area were accessible by streets separated from the main road, and accessible by roundabout. I talked about this in more detail in my video about stroads. Of course, there was a train station with a huge amount of bicycles outside of it. Again, this would just never exist in North America in a town this size. We also stayed at a
Don't know how to change. Fucking Christ, god damn it. I hate this. Get me the fuck out of here.
Hosers and squirts! Fill your weapons!
Oh.
Stop complaining, you know you'll love it. My mighty executioners bowing out because they're too wet? Are you even, Grenier?
Where's my gun? Oh no, I died! Oops. Oh, this is boring. I don't like this man. I hate these water guns. Can't hit shit. How do I die so quick?
It is time. I will teach these trespassers the redemptive power of my Yanis key. They will learn its simple truth.
All right, now get up there and show me some H2O! Losing team mops up the arena. It's all fun and games until we start losing! Pick up your axe, executioners! Fix the gas leak. You know, we never really talk.
What's
That was a lot harder than it needed to be.
Are you ready to get wet? Sure, fix the gas leak, whatever. Don't bother me with details.
What? 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 Stop! What is happening?
How many have? Let's do it again! Meat sucks!
Oh, not again. I just want the reward. Thank you for clearing me. I don't want to play this fucking shit anymore. I hate it. Yeah. It's over. Is the event done? What? It needs to reach 100.
Hosers and squirts! Fill your weapons! Stop complaining, you know you'll love it. AI. One tap people too. Grenades. Oh my god. Gunned down by 3 of them.
Motherfucker, die!
So you won this one. Best out of how many have? Let's do it again, meat sucks!
Enough.
No. Maybe it was enough. Okay. What's the event? Good.
Nearby communications towers are broadcasting crucial enemy intelligence. Capture the towers and decode any incoming messages.
I don't know how to use this fucking.
This tower is ours now.
Why am I taking damage from stealth? What am I done? How come?
enemy have captured a tower. Tower lost. The enemy has all 4 towers. You must stop them. The enemy is dominating. You must capture a tower, and quickly.
Oh my fucking god. What is killing me instantly?
The enemy is dominating. You must capture a tower, and quickly. The enemy have decoded the message. You have failed in your mission.
Okay.
We have located the enemy's planetary communication towers. Capture the towers and remain in control long enough to decode incoming messages. Tower lost. The enemy have captured a tower. Tower captured. Beginning stream decode now. The enemy have taken a tower. You must recapture it. Tower online. We have control of all 4 towers. We have lost control of a tower. Taken a tower. You must recapture it. You have captured a radio tower. lost control of a tower. Tower lost. This tower is ours now. The enemy has captured a tower. We have decoded the message. The remaining enemies must not report back to their command. Eliminate everyone.
Ashley stands.
I have detected another message incoming. Capture and decode the signal. Tower captured. Beginning stream decode now. We are dominating. Keep it up. The enemy have captured a tower. allow the enemy to learn of our espionage. Eliminate the remaining enemy personnel. Try and capture another signal. Be careful, though. The enemy has surely rallied stronger reinforcements. Tower online.
Plan.
We are in total control. Keep fighting. We have lost control of a tower. We are dominating. Keep it up. The enemy have taken a tower. You must recapture it. We are in total control. Keep fighting. Tower lost. lost control of a tower. We have control of all 4 towers. The enemy have taken a tower. You must recapture it. Message decoded. Leave none alive. Clear out the remaining enemy forces. The data you have collected here today will go a long way in supporting our cause.
That kind of sucks. Hmm.
Um. My guy. No. No, I don't want no fries. Yeah, let's go with poutine. No pickles. More. Doctor's office are closed Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, I want to leave this fucking place.
That was a pleasing enough distraction, and Mother appears to have forgotten about my misdemeanors in light of what my brother has been up to.
Call and brothers, not slaves.
What?
No captains. No queens. Look around. Just call and brothers. Today, just us. Tomorrow, much more. Call and brothers, not slave clones. Not any more.
No. No, I suppose you're not, are you?
How do handles, Chipper? Carl says you're a good sort. Blokes, must tell you what, Bowl, but you don't kill as many people as he has without learning a little something about human nature. So, guns, bits and pieces, even got an Archon shard or two lying around somewhere. I also do mods, did all my own, actually. Stuff going into deck when a fella's got a perfectly good workshop and a handsaw lying around. Neighbours did not like the screaming, not one bit, let me tell you. Tell you how I got my head off sometime. There's a story. Anyway, what can I get you for?
Can't press enter?
Can only give you what I got in stock. Me stock levels depend on how well old Carl and his imaginary girlfriend do on his little outings. Good week, lots of stock. Lots of stock, you're more likely to get what you need. You having a go? Pick something.
Shut up! Holy shit! God, I hate this fucking guy.
What? You want me to wrap it for you? See you later.
Tenno. Go fishing later?
I want to do this.
Call. Got your back.
I don't like the other questions. If I had someone to play with this with, I'd play it more, but